Hi, Dr. Brian McGee, physical therapist with Rxercise. Today's video is about the 4 foundational core strengthening exercises that I use with my patients who have low back pain. So why these 4 exercises? To understand that, we have to understand 2 kind of main concepts. Number 1, the neutral position of the lumbar spine, and number 2, compressive force on the lumbar spine and why these matter. So first off, neutral position. What does that mean? It simply means the middle position. So in other words, you're not flexed at the lumbar spine or extended. You're somewhere in the middle. Why does that matter? In this middle position, the intervertebral discs between the vertebra are in their sort of safest position. They're best able to dissipate the loads placed upon them by muscle contraction, lifting, pushing, pulling. In addition, some of the muscles of the spine are best able to protect the spine. So if this neutral position matters so much, how do I get into it? I say to patients, make yourself as tall as you can make yourself, and you will naturally fall into this neutral position. And with all of our exercises we're going to do today, we want to stay in this position. The next concept, compressive force. So anytime you move your spine, anytime you lift, push, pull, carry something, there's some compression of the vertebra and the disc between. We can't avoid that. But if the compression gets really high, like when we lift something really heavy, or when we lift something heavy outside of this neutral position, injuries are much more likely to occur. So how do we minimize this compressive force, and how do we really avoid it as much as we reasonably can? Well, one way to do that is to choose exercises that minimize this. And one problem is many traditional exercises cause way more compressive force than the exercise is worth. A great example is old-fashioned sit-ups. The amount of compressive force is really tremendous, and it's just not worth doing. It causes way more damage than the exercise benefit is even worth. And many exercises kind of fall into this category. The exercises I'll present today avoid this. We maximize muscle activity of the relevant muscles while minimizing this compressive force. Our first exercise is a curl up, but in a really specific way. You've probably never done it exactly this way before. We really want to maintain that neutral position of the spine. How do we do that while we're lying down? If we keep one leg straight and one leg bent, that helps us maintain a little bit of space under our low back. We're not pushing the back down into the surface. We want to avoid that. Also, put your hands under your back. You should feel a bit of a space here in this position. Maintain that space. Don't squish your hands, okay? And what you're going to do is curl up just a little bit while maintaining this space. It feels a little weird to do. It takes some practice. Hold this 5 to 10 seconds. Come down. Now, this series of exercises is part of what Dr. Stuart McGill calls his Big 3. He's a kinesiology professor in Canada. And these exercises just work super well, and that's why I like to use them. And they really emphasize, again, maintaining this neutral spine posture. Don't squish your back down as you curl up, and minimizing that compressive force on the lumbar spine. Our next exercise is a bridge. Now, this isn't part of those Big 3 exercises that I mentioned before, but I use it a lot, so I included it in this video. The big emphasis here is on trying to activate the glute muscles. People with a history of back problems tend to overuse their back muscles and hamstrings and underuse their glutes. So that's what this is all about. It's not so much raw strengthening, it's really more coordination. So first step, squeeze your butt cheeks together. Pretend you're holding a quarter between your butt cheeks. Then come up, hold 5 to 10 seconds. Come down, relax totally. Don't go up and down fast because you'll kind of wreck the sequencing. Squeeze the butt muscles together, lift up, hold 5 to 10 seconds, come down. All the while trying to maintain that neutral spine as well, right? We're not pushing the back down into the surface. Okay, squeeze, lift. It's hard to coordinate. It takes quite a bit of practice. Before I demonstrate the next exercise, I want to remind everybody, if you find this content helpful, click those like buttons, subscribe, leave a comment. So all we're going to do here is a side plank or side bridge. Stay kind of straight in the hips and spine. You're not curled up in a fetal position. Again, we want to maintain that neutral position of the lumbar spine. And simply lift up, hold 10 seconds, relax. We'll do 5 times on one side, 5 times on the other side. Now, if that's easy, you can simply extend the knees and do a full side plank. But same thing, 5-10 second hold, 5 times per side. Our last exercise is the bird dog, and we're going to do this in a couple of stages. So again, with that neutral position in the lumbar spine, simply lift one hand, hold it out. Now you should be able to do this and stay still as a stone in the spine and hips. You're not falling toward this side, you're not arching, you're not flexing. Okay? And once you can lift the arms alternately while keeping the spine and hips perfectly still, maintaining your neutral position, then you can lift a leg. Now again, we're going to hold each one for 5 to 10 seconds, not lifting the limbs past horizontally. You're not way up here, okay? Not shifting left to right. Hold 5 to 10 seconds each. Now if you can do the legs, then you can do the arms and legs simultaneously. Left arm, right leg. Hold 10 seconds. Switch sides, 10 times per side. Again, keeping that position of the spine real still, real rigid. So those are my 4 go-to sort of foundational level core strengthening exercises. Again, the main points are we're trying to strengthen the relevant muscles while minimizing compressive force on the lumbar spine. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it helps you get back to what you love to do, and we'll see you in the next video.